Alright, so I walked up to this bin here, and usually I don't really dig through this one. They have this one located outside of the thrift store that I like to go to sometimes. But as I was walking up, I did see a R.L. Stein uh, Fear Street book. It was a little bit beat up, but I was like, oh, I'll keep digging into this. And so I started digging, and I was like finding a few books, and I got about half a dozen books, and I was decided I should start recording. So this is me starting in just a little ways into this one. So yeah, normally I don't find too much, but I like these little thin paperbacks. And so I found this one. I was like, I don't know what it is. I didn't scan anything. I just picked them up. They look interesting. I mean, they're only a quarter here, so let's see what else we find here. You just gotta dig a little ways. So there was this Isaac Asimov. I pick him up here and there. He can do all right. I mean, a lot of times those older science fiction books are like $5 to $15. So I don't mind them. You'll see that book later on I just had. So here's another one. I mean, they're decent looking little old school science fiction books, and if you know anything, I pick those up all the time. I like the size of the books. They're easy to ship, easy to store. You know, uh, we can have 50 in a box. So I just keep digging around looking. I wasn't finding some sometimes, but as I kept digging, there's some decent ones. They aren't gonna be home runs, but you just gotta keep looking here. So this priest book, it looked kind of like a manga book, but when I went to check out, it was a little bit warpy. Like maybe it had some water damage or something, so I decided just to get rid of that one. So another science fiction. As you can see, it had someone's name on the side. It said Dow or Dole. And a lot of these science fiction books had his name on there. So somebody must have, donated a bunch of science fiction books, and they just said, no one's gonna want these, and tossed them all into this bin. Then here I come along. I'm like, oh snap! Look at all these books. So, you know, this one here, I found it, but later on when I was looking at it, it was split in half. So I actually paid a quarter for it, but I ended up tossing it. That Teacher Ate My Brains, that one looked cool, but it was a little beat up, so I decided to leave it. The Super Bike, that was a choose your own adventure. I don't know, it just looked cool. It kind of reminded me of that movie with what's it called, the Dirt Bike Kid. It has the same guy from A Christmas Story. But anyways, there was a few of those books in here. I was thinking about making a lot. I threw it in there, but later on I picked it up and it was kind of warpy, so I tossed it back. But let's see what else we can find here. So if you do see something, point it out. Maybe I missed some. I only dug a little ways down because a lot of times they just look like older. There's that book again. I decided I'm gonna keep this one. It was that TOR brand, Thor. Those ones seem to do good. A lot of times they're like science fiction books, so I do pick those up. But let's see what else we have here. A Ray Bradbury, that's like science fiction, but that one was hammered. William Goldman Magic. So I did pick that one up, and I keep digging around here. I think I find another one of these William Goldman Magic books right here. And when I got to the counter, the lady's like, do you know you have two of the same book? I'm like, oh yeah. It had different covers, so I'm like, again, I didn't scan these. So I was just recording with my phone, and I was doing alright. There was a lot of people talking and motorcycles, so I ended up cutting all the audio. But this Wizard of Oz book, that looked kind of cool. So I will show you everything that I found at the end of this video. There is some pretty cool stuff. Return of the King. That's a little bit bigger than I normally like to pick up. But I thought, hey, 25 cents. I can't leave it behind. So there looks like there's some stuff I might have maybe thought about that I'm seeing now, but the Babysitters Club, we have sold, lots of those and lots of the Boxcar Children. They can do good, but I only saw like 2 or 3 in here, and they were pretty rough, so I decided I'm not going to keep those. That one, I was like, maybe this one. Looked like this, I was seeing, could be lots. I seen a lot of J.D. Robb. This book here, it was a church book. Maybe I should have looked that one up, but I threw it back. There's this J.D. Robb again. And this one too, I looked at it for a second, but I ended up leaving it behind. Amy Tan. I just wasn't too sure about that. That kind of looked like a yogi, Indian style book, but it wasn't. Swami, I don't know what you would call that. Not a cult, but something. But anyways, there's a old school book you probably remember as a kid, Beverly Cleary. So I saw that Prison Ministry. So I think this thrift store deals with a lot of people that are recovering from addiction. And, it's like a church-run thrift store. But they do pretty good. They get a lot of items in, and they're moving them out quickly. So, yeah, I kept digging. I started not to find too much, and I was kind of just showing you what I was looking at, but not keeping. So I went to the back corner. Thought maybe I'd find something up against this side. You can't really get to it as well. Another J.D. Robb. But I decided, I'm not going to really find too much here. I think I dug out about 20 books or something. And I haven't really even gone through them since I picked them up. So I'm going to go through them right now. Here we have all the books that we just picked up that I had in the video. This was the R.L. Stine one that I had seen in the beginning that I didn't get on film. But this is what made me go through the bin, because I saw this Fear Street, and it's a little rough. Okay, it's a lot rough, but it made me get the rest of these books, so it was worth it. So we have a lot of science fiction. So you can see some stuff that we had found. Not everything made it into the film. This Neville Shute one looked kind of cool. Says, a strange leap into a future 30 years hence. I like a lot of time travel movies. So, let's see here. This William Goldman. There was 4 books. So this Marathon Man, I think that has Dustin Hoffman in there. So that's kind of cool. This Heat one is a little messed up there, but for 25 cents. I picked up some pretty good lots before of science fiction. This is not too bad for what I paid. This Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I thought that was kind of cool to find in there. I mean, it might not be worth much, but a couple bucks. There's those Oz ones. Has a Walmart sticker on it. There's the Science Fiction Hall of Fame that I was talking about. Has someone's name wrote on the side. Superbike. Here's that one book that I was talking about. It has the this publisher TOR, Thor. So these books here are not quite science fiction, but I thought they were interesting looking. So I found another Warhammer book. This one's probably around 20 bucks, 15 to 20. So that is pretty good. I found a Warhammer book before. It was about 200 bucks. So it's something that I look out for now. And this one's in pretty good condition. Yeah, this is a pretty good score here. I missed that one on the film, but yeah, that one's pretty good. There's the J.R. Tolkien. And then the Stephen King. That one was in there, but you didn't see me pick it up. But for 25 cents, I got to pick it up. So I do pick up Stephen King a lot. Definitely when they're only a quarter. But yeah, pretty decent score, I've had some people comment about these small paperback books that nobody thinks are worth any money, and a lot of times they're worth a lower amount of money, but everybody passes them up. I mean, we've sold some paperbacks for like $75, so you can do well in them. It just depends what it is. A lot of times the occult ones are the best ones, but it's not always just those ones, so you gotta keep buying to figure out what is good. And when you spend, I don't know, $10 on these, it's easy money.